This prompt that's on my screen right now will generate unlimited YouTube video ideas that actually book calls, not just chasing views, but for people who are looking to have their problem solved to help you book high ticket clients for your service business. Let's jump right into the prompt. So I'm just going to breeze through this and then we're going to show examples. I ran it through several AI agents. I ran it through Manus. I ran it through Claude, of course, through ChatGPT, and through Gemini right here. And we're going to kind of analyze these and see which one we like the best. And I'm just going to kind of breeze through the prompt here and kind of give you instructions on how to use it. But the exact prompt will be in my the video descriptions. There'll be a link for it there. So you're an expert YouTube research and idea agent for a high ticket service business. You do real research, blah, 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 on me, my topic, my competitors, not just views. And then you have to give it input. So your channel, if you're not a YouTuber yet, just say, hey, I don't have a channel yet. 3 competitors. These are pretty easy to find. I don't think I need to walk you through who are your competitors. We're going to do this for Daniel Fazio, formerly known as just the Cold Email Wizard. He now runs Client Ascension. I'm a part of this program. It's a very good program. You can check it out. And it's going to be built around him as the example. And it's for running a cold email agency. But this works across any niche, tax professional, legal, financial advisor, retirement income planning, whatever you do. If you have a business where you get people on sales calls to sell them a high ticket service, this will work for you. And even if you're not in one of those industries, honestly. So, you could literally just say like, I run a cold, email agency. What are the likely keyword terms that people would use, to find it? I'm not going to get into that right now, but if you're doing retirement planning, retirement planning, how to save for retirement, are annuities good for retirement planning? If you have a cold email agency, how to start and run a cold email agency, how to avoid the spam filter, cold email copywriting, cold email course, any of this stuff right here. This is pretty obvious. I don't think I need to spell that out for you. And then what you sell plus your ideal client. So for example, I sell 15K tax resolution services to small business owners with IRS debt. And these are the only inputs you have to put in. Now you're going to get the whole prompt here. I'm going to go over it. Again, I'm going to breeze through it because you guys are probably just, eager to see the results, but I want to kind of explain the ideology of it. But you'll have, again, in the video description, a blank version of this prompt for you to just fill in. And again, breezing through it. We're going to talk about, of course, we're going to go over the prompt, how to use it. We're going to show the results like I talked about, and then how to analyze these ideas. So starting on your channel, it's going to go over your most viewed and the most recent videos, title plus views, pull transcripts of the top 10 to 15. If a transcript won't load, use the title, description, and top comments instead. This is why you're going to have better luck if you can do the whole thing in Claude Code. And I'm going to show you my professional setup. There's 2 things. There's Manus and there's something called GenSpark. I haven't used GenSpark, but Manus is kind of like ChatGPT and Claude, but with more tools. So it can scrape websites by default. It has YouTube API keys. It probably can pull things and scrape data from Google. Not probably, it can scrape data from Google Maps. So it's like ChatGPT and Claude is more like you chat to it and then you get basically like a chat back. I actually had some good luck running this with Claude. So I don't know, maybe they're building some more, things into it, but anyway, it's going to look at the competitors. So not only your own channel and your best transcripts and your best performers, but the same thing for your competitors, the outliers, the breakout videos, as they're called. Keywords. So it's going to use keyword and YouTube data, not just for the keywords you gave it, but it's going to find adjacent keywords. Comments, the top pinned comments. It's going to build a bank of examples from the transcripts, capture real framework stories, case study specific numbers, analogies, contrarian opinions actually used. Then it's going to synthesize. So get the client's top 3 to 5 pain points, objections, and limiting beliefs from the comments and transcripts. So based on, in this case, the cold email example, Daniel Fazio, plus I put in, some competitors. We put Matt Lucero in there. He's also part of Client Ascension. And some other people you'll see that are also, some are part of Client Ascension, some are not, but it's all around cold email. I'm breezing through this, guys. Sorry if you're getting bored. We're almost going to show the results here, but this is important. So it's trained in this prompt to look at formats of videos that actually lead to conversions and not just views. So there's no, oh, here's my hot take, here's my opinions. Client case studies, framework and methodology breakdowns, all these things. This is in the prompt, and the prompt knows what these are, but just to kind of give you guys clarity. So it's going to especially try to format ideas that can be case studies. So a case study format, could be just like case study from X to Y in time frame, from 50 dental patients a month to 150 in 60 days. Framework and methodology breakdowns, my exact system for 10K emails per day at 2% positive reply rate. Again, going on the cold email example. By the way, if you don't know, cold email just means you blast business owners with emails trying to get their interest on getting more information from you to eventually book a call and have you sell them something, right? Deep dive problem diagnosis, why people watch your YouTube videos but don't book calls. Why you have 2 million in a 401k, yet retirement still feels stressful. Why something, right? Cost and pricing breakdowns, Apollo versus Clay versus Zoom Info. Again, these are all, in the cold email niche. These formats, guys, it's important that you know these just beyond the prompt. But yeah, like all these formats are what you want to do for booking calls. And the last one is just, how-to educational ones. These ones are great. This is like the evergreen backbone of your channel, but there's some other, pretty good ones in here. Versus/comparison. So again, this is like a versus and comparison for pricing, but this could be like for effectiveness. So scraping leads from, LinkedIn Sales Navigator versus, something, Apollo or whatever. Mass personalization or mass volume approach, which is better, again, on the cold email. Or, what's better, an annuity from an insurance company or just putting your money in the market? This is the Finex example. Objection handling and myth busting, blah, blah, blah. I'm going through these quick, guys. Results reveal. I tried every AI thumbnail generator. This is what I got. Best in class curations, comparing different softwares or products. And of course, hardcore educational how-to content. So, how to achieve cool result, solve problem, etc. You guys know what how-to videos are. Now it says in the prompt to avoid view chasing formats like hot takes, opinion bait, reactions, chit chat. Every idea should install a belief or shatter an objection, yada, yada, yada. Then it goes into the title rules. I'll just, breeze through these, the right character count. And then it gives some formats that it can use loosely, and it doesn't have to follow these rules strictly, but how to outcome without hated thing or without objection or without limiting belief. The real reason, recurring problem, it's not what they blame. Stop tired advice, start better way. This could be, this tired advice means like the average thing that the average person, putting out generic opinions or, AI slop. And this would be like what I would call a non-obvious opinion, which is like the gold nuggets of why people like you, become super fans, see who's an authority and want to buy from you. More on, what non-obvious opinions are and how to implement them and how to make money from them in future videos. Blah, 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 result without, disbelieving thing. Okay. And then I'm just, we're getting to the end of the prompt here. So scoring, rate every idea 1 to 10 on 3 separate numbers, never blended. So reach, how likely it is to get a lot of views. Revenue, how likely it is to, book calls. And uniqueness, how unique the idea would be for your channel. Now, again, if you don't have a channel, it won't be able to calculate uniqueness. But the golden formula would be like something that's going to get a lot of reach, either from a competitor that it found or from one of your other videos. It found that this concept or this idea, this thing to talk about does well. It reaches a lot of people. It went viral, but it's in one of these formats. So if something went viral, that's a hot take, an opinion, a reaction video, a podcast clip or something like that, it's going to not rate that as highly as if it came from a format that's a case study or a deep dive diagnosis or a how-to or something that breaks down your methodology, your system, or your framework. And where are we? Yeah. So those are the three, right? You want something that's going to reach a lot of people, that's going to be a format or a topic that's going to generate a lot of booked sales calls, a lot of customers, a lot of clients, and something unique to your channel that you haven't talked about. And then it's going to output it there. The prompt. So for the Daniel Fazio example, I'm not going to go over this again. We're going to get into the results right now, but we just put, for his channel, Daniel Fazio. For competitors, we put Matt Lucero. This is another guy. This is Christian. with Client Ascension, or it's called AI assisted agency. He also does, a lot of like copywriting and just, cold email strategies. And then Lead Gen J, as far as I know, he's not affiliated with Client Ascension. I don't know if he was in the past, or I don't know if these guys know each other, but this guy has really good content with everything related to outbound lead generation systems. So the better competitors that you can give this, obviously the better ideas you're going to get, right? Junk in, junk out, gold in, gold out. So let's go into the results. So this was Manus, which again, it's like, let's see if we can full screen this. It's like Chat GPT and Claude, like I said, but with tools. So it has YouTube APIs. It has the Google Maps API. It can browse Twitter and scrape data from Twitter and Reddit. Not that generic Claude or ChatGPT per se can't do these things. This just does them better. Okay, so here are the ideas that it came up with. And again, it's giving us the title with the character count, the estimated reach, the revenue, and the uniqueness, how it would be for his channel. So how we book 60 plus B2B calls a month, full cold email setup. Like that's just a fire title. How we book 60 plus B2B sales calls a month, full cold email setup. Genius, right on the money. Framework breakdown is the format. The exact cold email infrastructure we use for 10 million plus clients, like $10 million, clients, meaning like, medium-sized businesses. Stop landing in spam, the 2026 cold email delivery guide, hardcore, how to. Of course, this is, right on the money with revenue. Reach is very high for this thing, but I guess uniqueness, he's probably talked about it, somewhat before, so it's a little bit lower there. How to personalize 10,000 cold emails at scale using AI. Cold email versus cold calling, which actually gets B2B clients. This is in the versus and comparison. So you guys can see here, it gives you the format, myth busting, the 3 cold email metrics that actually matter, ignore the rest. That is a fire title, right? And you can see here how this is not going for reach, guys. This is not about the mass revenue or anything like that. You know what? I think that Manus actually, I sent 5 million cold emails. Here's the ultimate B2B strategy. It's probably not making this up. Manus is probably looking at a real transcript from Daniel Fazio, and that 5 million is probably not made up. It's pretty smart like that. But again, if this is you and you're like, well, I didn't send 5 emails or 5 emails. I didn't send 5 million emails, customize it to what you've actually done. And then it gives the breakdowns, like it gives the research hook. So let's do this one. How we book 60 B2B sales calls a month, full cold email setup. It tells you what it came from, right? So inspired by Matt Lucero's breakout video, smartlead.ai review, how I book 60 plus calls per month. So you can see here, it borrowed from Matt Lucero, who is, a competitor. I guess, I don't know if they're actually competitors. They're homies. Matt Lucero and Daniel Fazio are homies. But as we put in the prompt, remember when we filled it in, this is what we did, right? His channel, his 3 competitors, and yada, yada, yada. The exact Como, let's do another one. Stop landing in spam. Directly targets the cold email deliverability keyword cluster. So this is coming from a keyword search, right? So you can see some come from Matt Lucero, leverages your channel's existing strength, offer formulation, 37K views, and applies it directly to the cold email gap. Okay, cool. So why your cold email offer is getting ignored and how to fix it. It was inspired by this idea. It said, hey, this idea could get a lot of reach. I think this is a good idea because your offer formulation video, Mr. Daniel Fazio, it thinks it's writing for Daniel Fazio now, because you did well with offer formulation in the past, now we're going to tell you, it's going to go a deep dive diagnosis format, why your cold email offer is getting ignored and how to fix it. Because as Daniel talks about, yes, the copy matters. Yes, volume matters. But I believe, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I believe Mr. Fazio would argue that the offer is God, like reigns supreme over all that other stuff, which is important, but whatever. And then Claude did very well, despite not having, the tools, I think. um, what a done for you cold email agency actually costs. So again, this is like terrible reach, but it probably should have got a 10 on the revenue. I would disagree with Claude. It should be a 10 on the revenue because again, what a done for you cold email agency actually costs. This is not going to reach a lot of people. This is going to flop on views. This is a nurturing video. This is for people who are like, maybe they assumed it would cost an arm and a leg, or they just needed to know a little bit more about whatever. But these, again, the format is a cost and pricing breakdown. Again, terrible reach. The reach should probably be a lot lower. The revenue should be a 10. This is what is this one? Yeah, a versus format. Cold email agency versus hiring an SDR. Can you guys see this? I don't know if you're on mobile. I'll maybe make this a little bit bigger. I don't know. How we got a B2B SaaS X meetings in 90 days. I guess it's like, not filling that in. It's like understanding it doesn't have all the data to fill that in. The real reason B2B cold emails get ignored. Again, this is the problem diagnosis, and it's going after the offer. So you think it came to a lot of same conclusions, right? Like it reframes the problem as the offer, not per se whatever else that they're thinking it is. They didn't do enough volume or the copy. Yeah, they even put not copy. So some guy's thinking like, damn, I need better copy. I need better copy. And then he sees this. Well, here's why your cold emails are getting ignored. It's not the copy. He goes, oh shit. This guy, knows something that I don't know. He has the mind shift that, hey, copy matters. We're not here to say copy doesn't matter, but the offer matters a lot more. Boom. Now he's sold. He sees Daniel's authority and he's ready to invest money into Daniel. Why most B2B cold email fails in 2026. It's not you. I don't love all of these. Why buying 10,000 leads is killing your cold email? Okay. Precision over volume. Interesting. Okay. So he's saying like, got it. So this is probably would lead into a busting the myth that just raw volume is good, but you need to have precision in your volume as well. Like has to fit the avatar. Maybe it has to be some, if it's IT companies, it has to be like the right type of IT company. It has to be a cloud-based service on the frontier of cybersecurity based IT company. And then like, those are the ones that like, fit your offer, right? We have the ChatGPT one. Again, it gives you like, some stuff, some jargon. The only real gold is the ideas. I'm not going to go through the ChatGPT ones. Weren't the best. B2B SaaS, build outbound, in-house, or hire a done-for-you team first. Actually, that's a decent one. Yeah, if you're in B2B SaaS, should you build an outbound in-house team or hire? Like, the title isn't written well, but like it could be rewritten well. And then I think ChatGPT was my least favorite. I think oh gosh, what was I saying? Manus. You guys might want to check out GenSpark too. And I think I would go Manus was my favorite, Claude second favorite, and then Google or whatever, Google, Gemini, same thing, Google, YouTube, all the same company. Last. If I restarted my $10 million agency today, this is the only offer I'd sell. Cash flow maxing, is that like the title? Didn't he already do it? I think he like made a video like that. Is this? Okay. That's funny. Just like a one-word title. This Google sheet. Where is he going with that? The science of building an offer that anyone. Okay, this is pretty good. But like you can make it better. Like the science of building an irresistible offer. That's kind of like the jargon in there. So this is why I'm saying the best ones came definitely from Claude and from Manus. And like I said, a million times, this is like kind of like an all-in-one AI agent. Now, the best way to do it is Claude Code. All of these are kind of like, I would say, like the starter kit. So I'm going to show you in a second what I built, with Claude Code for one of my clients. So this again, right? Like what does the transcript or the prompt even say? It's like, get my, 10 to 15, transcripts for the competitors, find their breakout videos. What we do is we get, if you have a YouTube channel, every single transcript from your YouTube channel. From your competitors, we get up to, I think, like 150 of like their best transcripts. So we can even just get all of them. Every comment, every question, every objection, everything from the comments, especially stuff that's being repeated or comments that got a lot of likes or comments that led to a lot of responses. Of course, I talked about, your outliers, things like that. The Claude Code thing that we build has a tagged bank of examples from stories, examples, analogies, case studies, your personal story, what your hot takes are about different things, so it can pull those on command. Obviously, I have some notes that I'm reading on the side of the screen now, but yeah, obviously the competitor transcripts. And then the best thing is the actual sales call. So obviously, like if you run a cold email agency or you're doing, retirement planning, you're in the legal space, you do immigration law, your consulting calls, your discovery calls, your sales calls are going to be the best source for ideas by far. So all this stuff like, well, what are my competitors doing, or what's on X, and then our idea thing with Claude Code actually does Twitter, Google Trends, Reddit, Quora, all the stuff that I talked about, like the autocomplete data for Google and YouTube, and a few more sources that I can't even think of right now. So it's a lot more robust, and still all that's still like public though. But actually plugging in your sales calls is going to be the best source, because you're getting it directly from the horse's mouth. Like, what are their objections? What caused them to get on a call? What questions do they have? What other people are they looking at? What problems they have? What personal doubts do they have about themselves? So sometimes it's not just objections they have about you, like, is this guy really an authority? Does this guy even know, what he's talking about? Should I even listen to him? It's like, can I even do it? If you're in the field of growing a legal practice and you're trying to sell some guy, hey, I can get you more leads for your, divorce lawyer practice. If the guy's doubting that he even made the wrong decision by going solo, if he doesn't believe that he can make it as a solopreneur attorney, that doesn't have the business acumen, that he knows he's a good lawyer, but he just doesn't think he has, he can't cut it as a business owner / lawyer, he should probably just go work for somebody else. If he has that limiting belief in his head, and you're not unwiring that, then he won't even get on, a call in the first place. But by looking at other transcripts of other sales calls, you'll probably have uncovered that limiting belief. So you can use that to then make videos addressing those beliefs for the people that haven't booked yet. So this is what it looks like. I'm not going to go into the things here, but here's all the client assets. You can put in here your framework, sales pages, testimonials. Those are really, really good to draw from. Call transcripts, in here, sales calls. My client's going to be sending me a lot more sales calls in here. And for other, I just have this one open, but for other clients, we have like a whole library of sales calls in there, and that actually generates the best ideas. And when we run, like, I'm just gonna type in like brainstorm here. You're gonna see this start, clicking away. It's gonna open up my brainstorm skill. The output looks similar to what you guys have already seen, and it's gonna take like a really long time, because it's gonna again look at Twitter or X now, and all this other stuff. Here's all the transcripts. It has all about the ICP avatar, the examples bank. Audience questions from the comments. What's under Intel? Yeah, Quora, news, regulatory, because this client's in finance, and they can actually output it into an idea bank here that will have the video idea in the form of a title, the idea score, which is a custom formula based on confidence, means how likely I think I can write the script based on what I have, versus if I would need to do like ask the client questions before I can write the script. So this idea, I guess, like based on what's already in all her, pre-existing videos, we're pretty confident we can write it. If it's lower, I would have to ask her like questions. Well, how do you feel about, a 401k to IRA, conversion, and is that a taxable event? And some people say that it's better to just put it in the market. And what do you think about this, right? But anyway, the reach, the uniqueness, how many times the idea reoccurred. So if it thinks of a duplicate, this is Notion, by the way. Maybe I didn't say this is like a project management database that I hooked up to, Claude Code to organize my ideas. If you guys want me to do one of these for you, if you want me to write some scripts for you, I do the whole thing from the ideation to the scripting. We create visuals, slides that go along with it. Obviously, the editing, title, description, posting, everything except recording, literally. Which ICP segment, the outline, where the idea came from. So did it come from like over here? We can say, yeah, the format. Trying to find here. Yeah, did it come from YouTube search, from Reddit? Did I add it, manually? Of course, you can add ideas manually. Let's see if it's still, you see that? It's still going because it does so many things. But the point is, I don't need to show you how it looks like in Claude Code, and that's gonna, tinker away for a while. But you see how the ideas output here. Now, the main takeaways for this, guys, are the actual prompt. It's in the description of the video. And like I said, all you have to do is put in your channel if you have one. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. 3 competitors, which should be pretty easy to find, and 3 keywords. For here, it was cold email strategy, cold email copywriting, and how to personalize cold email. It doesn't matter if you put in cold email course, how to get through the spam filters in cold email, how to buy and warm up domains for cold email. It's going to generate like the same like top whales, the top channels. If you change the keywords and you change the competitors, or you just run this prompt more, you'll just keep getting more and more fresh ideas. And if you run it through, Claude Code linked to a Notion database here, it will prevent duplicates from going in there and score your ideas and give you absolute clarity on what is the next video that you should be making, to have a video that not just goes viral, gets a bunch of views from a bunch of brokies, but actually books rich people who want their problem solved, high ticket clients for your service-based business. If you guys want to see follow-ups for this about how to actually turn these ideas into scripts and how I do all that manually and with Claude Code, let me know in the comments. If you want a free script for your YouTube channel to kind of judge my skills and see if this actually works for you, get a whole free script, maybe even do the editing and stuff, give you your whole first video for free, depending on what good mood that I'm in. There's a link in the description of the video how you can get a hold of me to get a free trial with me and see if it makes sense to work for us to work together long term. Otherwise, just enjoy the free game and subscribe for more. That's it. Cheers.